Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here on the mic every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling, live on the GSMC Sports Network and the GSMC Podcasting Network. Make sure you guys subscribe to YouTube, Superman Punch that, like, and follow so you guys can get some cool notifications when we all go live. So it's been one hell of a week, in terms of the NFL, in terms of all sports. We got college basketball heating up, who's going to go down to March Madness. Also, we have some pretty interesting news as of late. Internet here in Southern California sucks. I'm just kidding. No, that's that's not news. Obviously, what's happening with the fires, and obviously pray for LA. Most of them are actually they're getting contained. We are expected to get some rain here in SoCal. But now I guess there's flood warnings and now there's mudslide warnings. So if it's not one thing, it's the other thing, which sucks. But amen for the rain. Thank God. Well, we have a great show for you today, guys, all planned out. We're going to go ahead and talk about some WWE SmackDown review. I'm going to try to talk about things other than, other things that I will be talking about at Saturday night's main event. Kind of like the underlying things that happened on SmackDown that was interesting. And then we're going to talk about TNA. We have TNA and Ring of Honor live results. We're going to talk about Saturday night's main event. We're going to go ahead and talk about Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks, he wants out of his AEW contract. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the controversy. We're going to talk about maybe some potential WWE storylines. And then our fifth and final segment, we're going to go ahead and talk about WrestleMania going to Paris. I'm just kidding. No, that was a terrible French accent. I apologize for all the French audiences out there. If you want to send some hate mail, make sure you send it to Eric Rodriguez at. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. We have a pretty awesome show for you today lined up. So yeah. But before we get into any of that, obviously, go ahead and if you want to share a comment, leave it in the comment section after watching the video. Technically not going live right now. So, honestly, if you have an opinion about it, comment about it. I will definitely respond to you guys. I guarantee you 1,010%. But if you got a burning question or a hot take in terms of the world of professional wrestling, we love your guys' input 1,010%. And obviously, it's a great way to kind of, keep tabs on the network, make sure that you guys feel even when we do go live, make sure you guys feel that you can get anything off your chest here at the GSMC Sports Network. We want you guys to feel absolutely comfortable 1,010%. We are all ears, and obviously we do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity 1,010%. Whether if you got a burning question or just like some random hot take in terms of professional wrestling, we love it. Absolutely. Don't even worry about, there's no such thing as a stupid comment. Sometimes, I watch YouTube videos or, I'll see a post on Instagram or Twitter and I'm like, I start typing things out and then I'm like, oh man, I don't know, like if I post this, people might go savage and just start ringing me out and be like, dude, you're stupid. What are you thinking about? You don't know true wrestling, But, at the end of the day, it is just, it's all opinion. Professional wrestling, it could be subjective. 1,010%, as opposed to, broadcasting or analyzing or, talking about like baseball, basketball, football. You try your best, try not to be biased. Bias in professional wrestling is kind of non-existent because you do have your good guys and your bad guys. You have your heels and you have your baby faces. So obviously, guys, feel free to comment and make sure you guys say whatever you want. I can handle a little bit of criticism here. It's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. You know what? It's already water under the bridge. Don't even worry about it, guys. Don't you even worry your pretty little heads about it. All right. So first, we're going to talk about some WWE SmackDown. I thought it was a good episode. I know I'd say that every single time I analyze any kind of like wrestling thing, but another 3-hour episode of WWE SmackDown, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Obviously the biggest hype about the episode was Tama Tonga taking on the LA Knight and the Motor City Machine Guns, finally getting their hands on Pretty Deadly, which they did. But Pretty Little Deadly, they were decent. They honestly, I like the fact that they're actually wrestling on, and I like the fact that they're getting matches. I like the fact that they're getting promos. I just don't think they're tag team championship material, and that's okay. That's okay. But, you have all these other, Kit Wilson, Elton Price, they're not bad superstars. But you have Saban and you have Alex Shelley, obviously coming from, in the independent wrestling circuit and TNA. It's, you're kind of up against this brand new, like totally exciting, badass tag team coming in. It's like a new toy. When you get a new toy, when you were a kid, you play with it a bunch of times, and eventually you'll be like, oh, I kind of missed that old toy. So I think Pretty Deadly is going to stick around. I do honestly think that they would pay more dividends on SmackDown. But you recently saw Austin Theory and Grayson Waller move to, on SmackDown as well, which I don't really think it's best. I feel like they should be split up. I want to see Grayson Waller back on the NXT roster, much like I would like to see Austin Theory have a singles title run. I feel like that would be both. I feel like that would be better for both competitors. But it is what it is. So I guess that at this time, us as wrestling fans, we just gotta suck it up and deal with it. I definitely admire what Pretty Deadly's what they're trying to do, but a tag team of that kind of like you don't get the the classic glamour spots. And when WWE SmackDown goes to when it goes back to 2 hours, which Triple H said it will, he said sometimes in June or July. I just hope by that time they're not totally sinking to the point where like they get released or anything like that. That'd be pretty terrible, because inside the ring it came close. There was a couple of close counters where they could have defeated Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. Obviously, you saw I think it was Los Garza that got involved. And it just, just wasn't good. Just wasn't good. All right, next we have B-Fab and Meechin taking on Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. This match was ultimately kind of placed to kind of show that there can be maybe, an underlying storyline where you can have Chelsea Green and Piper Niven kind of go through this, Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax. Nia Jax, of course, the women's champion. Chelsea Green, the United States champion. Tiffany Stratton, the Money in the Bank winner. Piper Niven, obviously, she wants to get her name on the board. And I feel like she is going to be a future WWE United States women's champion without a doubt. I don't think that's much of a question. Something that does come to question is B-Fab. Every single time she steps inside the ring, I feel like she can do, more than what she's put up to in terms of WWE creative storyline telling. I feel like she is a star. She kind of seems like she's hiding in the back. I don't know why WWE's hiding such a great talent. But I think it'd be very, very... It would be not poetic, that's not the right word. It would be absolutely beneficial for both WWE and B-Fab if you kind of have her go after Chelsea Green. She obviously going after the United States Championship, another competitor, someone that can cut a decent promo. And Chelsea Green, she's like a walking promo, so that's not much of a surprise. But it was kind of cool to see B-Fab and Meechin actually pick up that victory. So I think it's just a matter of time. That she's going to be a champion. Next we have Damien Priest. It was Nick Aldis talked to Carmelo Hayes being like, yeah, you know what, your opponent's going to be arriving any moment now. Honestly, I gotta lie to you guys, and I do like I kind of thought Trick Williams was gonna come to SmackDown. But, him on NXT kind of stating his claim that he wants a rematch, I don't think that way anymore. And that's good for NXT. Obviously, you got to keep that television deal with the CW, so that you need those big main superstars like Trick Williams. So, I'm happy he's going to stay on NXT. I honestly don't think he would move to Raw. It would make no sense to have somebody who can cut, who's like, has all the glamour, who has all, like Trick Williams, and I'm, not trying to make this weird or anything, but he's like, it's like if Seth Rollins and CM Punk kind of like had some kind of like, like a baby together. Like that's how, because he has the mic skills of CM Punk and the Andy Face attitude, and he has the flair of CM Punk and the of Seth Rollins and the attitude and the baby face, name, image, likeness. So, why not? You got to keep Trick Williams on NXT. Next, we have Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, and Liv Morgan taking on Rhea Ripley, Naomi, and Bianca Belair. This this match, it started all of a sudden. I thought it was kind of cool. You have all these girls coming out, probably all of them. No, not probably. All of them are going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble. So like the men did on Raw, SmackDown, week by week, they're like, no, I'm declaring myself in the Rumble. No, I'm declaring myself in the Rumble. I think the women's division just came out flat out, and they're like, Raw women's superstars and SmackDown women's superstars come out. We'll cut a big giant promo, and we'll have you guys face off in a 6-woman tag team match. Obviously it was won by the bad guys, Liv Morgan and Candice LeRae and Nia Jax. I've had my doubts about Liv Morgan. I do, 1,010%. But, I feel like she's Intercontinental Championship material. Her against Lyra Valkyria, they would be an amazing match. They would be an amazing, it'd be amazing storytelling. You have the complete babyface from another country, Lyra Valkyria. Everybody loved her in NXT. She's came to WWE's, done nothing but amazing things. And then you have, Liv Morgan. I feel like that would be a great storyline. I feel like that would be a great championship heading toward, maybe WrestleMania, perhaps. If like this whole Becky Lynch thing doesn't get involved, because I feel like Becky Lynch would want to get a shot at Lyra Valkyria's WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship match, because you saw Valkyria dethrone Becky Lynch when she took a step down to NXT and become the Women's NXT Women's Champion. So that, kind of like poetic justice, you have two friends going at it, one of those matches that it's like, oh, you don't really have your bad guy, your good guy. Whatever happens at the end of the match is, the result will ultimately be favorable for the fans. So, not much of a, but it was all right. Nia Jax was, it was crazy how she was trading insults with fans, obviously playing a huge, heel role. But I don't know. Her career or her next steps, it could be interesting. I hate that Nia Jax, she had a decent title run. I'm not going to say that it was, it was garbage and it wasn't good. I feel like at times she did feel like she was one of the strongest women on the WWE main roster. On SmackDown, Raw, even on NXT, nobody really could touch Nia Jax, who she was, and what she was doing inside the ring, just playing out dominance. And superstars like that, I feel the same thing about Rhea Ripley. Like, Rhea Ripley kind of comparing to the men adjacent to Brock Lesnar, where sometimes they just seem so damn strong that it's like, if you give them a title, like, us as the wrestling universe, we're not that dumb to the point where it's like, oh, we're just going to have like someone like Rey Mysterio defeat somebody like Braun Strowman. Like, you're not going to see that. You're not going to see stuff like that. Because they'd be like, okay, guys, we have to, of course, kind of compel to this source of realism. If you put enough realism in, in fiction, maybe there's a point where somebody might, where wrestling fans might feel like it, it's true. But, Rhea Ripley, she's such a strong champion. And I feel like the only person that could probably dethrone her would have been Nia Jax, maybe Charlotte Flair, but there's also a lot of different superstars that could be coming in with this WWE NIL and the WWE Independent Wrestling, and I feel like it would create for better competition, for more, audience members, for high ratings. It would just be, I feel like it'd be great for WWE. Next, we saw a video package with Charlotte Flair's return. It was, it was pretty good, but I guess it was hard to tell if WWE wants her to kind of be like a babyface or a heel as she returns. I feel like, on SmackDown, why does it matter? Why should it matter if she's a heel or babyface? She can basically go in kind of like a Randy Orton, where she's going to go out there and do whatever the hell she wants. She's going to manipulate superstars to kind of stab them in the back, or she's gonna be genuine and kind of be that babyface factor. I definitely feel like if she does come back as a babyface, you can bet your arse that it was probably Bianca Belair and Naomi who attacked Jade Cargill, because it would make no sense for so many baby faces. You would have to keep Nia Jax, obviously, Candice LeRae, Chelsea Green. I don't really feel like Piper Niven's really a bad character. Tiffany Stratton, I feel like, a couple of I wanted her to win the WWE Women's Championship. I did. I really, really did. I felt like, this should have been one of the greatest women's Money in the Bank cash-in of all time. But just kind of seeing her and hearing her on the mic and seeing her on SmackDown, I don't know if it's popping with the fans too much. Like, I know the whole Tiffy time thing, and maybe it's just me kind of being a little hard-headed as an old-school WWE fan, or as a wrestling fan for that matter. I just don't feel like Tiffany Stratton could just embrace that babyface heel. Like, she's so, like, in your face. Like, she could be snooty. She could be a little attitude-ish. She'd be like, oh, I deserve this. I deserve that. Like, she could think of her career as something that should be put on a pedestal. She feels like she can be part of the Hall of Fame already. She's just... I don't know. Maybe in a couple of weeks it will clear up of how they will, ultimately want to take the direction of Tiffany Stratton's character. But as of right now, I just, I don't know. She's not really a babyface or a heel. I guess that's what I'm ultimately trying to say. Apollo Crews defeats Johnny Gargano, DIY, as WWE champions. I like it. I do like it a lot. Apollo Crews getting some love, getting some attention on SmackDown, getting some TV time. But, he was able to pick up the win, so definitely happy about that. We have LA Knight obviously defeating Tama Tonga. It wasn't really, never really anything of question. Damien Priest was revealed as the new signing for WWE SmackDown by Nick Aldis. Took on Carmelo Hayes in a pretty good match, but, Damien Priest, he came out victorious. It's cool to see him on SmackDown. That's definitely where he belongs. Hate this Judgment Day constant, oh, God. Beating Finn Balor, Carlito, McDonough. It gets old. I'm glad to see him finally start to embrace an old individual character and, kind of putting this Judgment Day thing behind him, because they're getting to the point where it was getting a little bit too wash, rinse, and repeat. It was getting too repetitive, and, I wasn't really into it. Kevin Owens defeats Jimmy Uso, obviously. Jimmy Uso attacked by Carmelo Hayes in the beginning of the fight. He still came out. He put on a good match, a decent match. I love the fact that Kevin Owens had an in-your-face approach with the Naomi, the glow shirt. I thought that was pretty badass. I could even see, when you saw Jimmy Uso saw what he wore, he kind of broke kayfabe a little bit, shed a little bit of a smile, but Kevin Owens was able to kind of pick up the victory, and he was going to drive him through, with a package pile driver, but then Cody Rhodes come out, still building up momentum, heading toward WWE Saturday night's main event. So, like I said, it just, it was good. It was a nice little build-up episode, not to just Saturday night's main event, but the WWE Royal Rumble, especially for the women's division. All right, guys, so hey, do not go anywhere. We're going to jump on into my Thursday night wrestling review. We're going to talk about Ring of Honor. We're going to talk about some TNA. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage. Join me here in about 25 seconds. So hey, do not go anywhere.